Hey, Jason here from Simply Swider. So if your GE dishwasher has completely lost power and won't respond to anything, don't worry. In this video, I'm going to show you exactly how to fix it. Good news is that most of these power issues can be solved without spending a fortune on a service call. Before we get started, if you run into any questions, jump into our Facebook group. Links in the description. We've got thousands of people helping each other fix their appliances, and I pop in there daily to help out. Look, I get it. You've loaded up your dishwasher, hit the buttons, and absolutely nothing happens. It's one of the most frustrating appliance problems out there, and I've seen that exact same confused look on hundreds of customers' faces over the years. Here's the thing, though. After a decade of troubleshooting these GE dishwashers, I've narrowed down the most common causes, and they're way more fixable than you'd think. We're going to walk through everything from simple circuit breaker resets to control board replacements, and I'll show you exactly how to diagnose each one. All right, so the most common culprit when your GE dishwasher goes completely dead is actually something that happens outside the machine, a tripped circuit breaker. Here's what happens. After power outages or electrical surges, your circuit breaker can trip as a safety measure, and that cuts off all electricity to your dishwasher. I had this customer last month who swore her dishwasher was broken after a storm knocked out power in her neighborhood. You can see on the screen right now how simple this fix actually is. What you're going to do is head to your electrical panel and look for the breaker that controls your kitchen or dishwasher specifically. If it's tripped, it'll be in the middle position or flipped to the off side. Don't just flip it back on right away though. Here's what I've learned works best. Turn that breaker completely off and leave it off for about 30 seconds to 1 minute. This gives the dishwasher's internal systems time to reset properly. For older models or after power surges, you might want to wait up to 5 minutes, then flip it back on and test your dishwasher. This simple reset fixes the problem about 60% of the time, and it costs you absolutely nothing to try. Another thing that'll make your dishwasher appear completely dead is outlet problems, especially if you've got a GFCI outlet. These outlets are designed to shut off power if they detect any moisture or electrical irregularities, which is great for safety but can be a pain when troubleshooting. Testing a standard outlet is pretty straightforward. Just unplug your dishwasher and plug in something else, like a phone charger or small appliance. If that doesn't work either, you've found your problem. GFCI outlets are trickier because they've got that reset button. Safety first, make sure your hands are completely dry before touching any electrical components. Here's what you're going to do. Unplug the dishwasher completely, then press that reset button on the GFCI outlet firmly until it clicks. You should hear it engage. Now, test the outlet with another device to make sure it's getting power. If the GFCI won't reset or keeps tripping immediately, that outlet needs to be replaced. Now, I got to tell you, electrical work can be dangerous, so if you're not comfortable working with outlets, this is where you call a licensed electrician. Way better to spend $100 on an electrician than deal with electrical fires or injury. Moving on to mechanical issues, your door latch is absolutely critical for dishwasher operation. If that door isn't latching properly, the machine won't start no matter what else you do. It's a safety feature that prevents flooding your kitchen. The door latch sits right at the top center of your dishwasher door, and when it fails, you'll usually notice the door feels loose or doesn't click securely when you close it. I remember this one customer who called me in a panic because her dishwasher stopped mid-cycle. Turned out the door latch had worn out and wasn't making proper contact anymore. Testing this is simple. Just open and close the door and listen for that solid, definitive click sound. A good latch should click firmly and hold the door securely closed. If you hear a weak click, multiple clicks, or no click at all, or if the latch mechanism looks cracked or worn, it needs replacement. The part itself runs about 15 to 30 bucks, and it's actually not too difficult to replace. You'll need to partially pull the dishwasher out and remove the dish racks, then unbolt the old latch and wire in the new one. The key is making sure you disconnect power completely before starting any work. The door interlock switch works hand in hand with that door latch, but it's a separate component that can fail independently. This little switch is what actually tells the dishwasher's control board that the door is securely closed and it's safe to start a cycle. When this switch goes bad, your dishwasher thinks the door is always open, even when it's latched perfectly. You can find this switch between the inner and outer door panels, and testing it requires a multimeter. Here's how to check it. After unplugging the dishwasher and shutting off water, you'll need to separate the inner door from the outer door by removing some screws. The interlock switch will be on the outer door section. Set your multimeter to the resistance or continuity setting. It might show an ohm symbol or sound a beep. Touch the multimeter probes to the switch terminals while pressing and releasing the switch. A working switch should beep or show zero resistance when pressed and no beep or infinite resistance when released. If you get random readings or no change when pressing, the switch needs replacement. The good news is these switches only cost about $8 to $25, and once you've got the door panels apart, swapping it out is pretty straightforward. Here's something that surprises a lot of people. A bad heating element can actually cause your entire dishwasher to lose power. Most folks think heating elements just affect drying, but many GE dishwashers have safety circuits that'll shut down the whole machine if they detect the heating element is drawing too much current or leaking electricity. The heating element sits underneath the lower spray arm. Remove the bottom dish rack and lift out the lower spray arm to get a clear view. When it starts to fail, look for obvious signs like blisters, black burn marks, white chalky deposits, or hairline cracks on the metal coils. Also check if any part of the element is touching the dishwasher floor. That's a dead giveaway. It's warped and needs replacement. I've seen this exact problem on several GE models where the dishwasher would start up fine, then suddenly go completely dead during the wash cycle. What's happening is the control board detects the heating element fault and shuts everything down to prevent damage or safety hazards. Testing the heating element requires pulling the dishwasher out and accessing it from underneath, which is definitely more involved than the previous fixes we've covered. You're looking at about $35 to $60 for a replacement element, but the labor is pretty intensive since you need to disconnect water lines and drain hoses. When we get into control board failures, we're talking about the more expensive repairs. The user interface control board is basically the brain that processes all your button presses and displays information. You can find this board inside the control panel on your dishwasher's door. When this board fails, you might get no response at all when pressing buttons, or you might see crazy display patterns, random lights, or error codes that don't make sense. I had this customer a few weeks ago whose GE dishwasher would light up like a Christmas tree every time she tried to start it, then go completely dead. Turned out the user interface board had developed some internal short circuits. Testing these boards requires some electrical knowledge and specialized equipment, so this is typically where I recommend calling someone like me. The parts run anywhere from $80 to $120, but the diagnosis and installation can be tricky. If your dishwasher is more than 8 years old and needs a control board, it might be worth considering replacement instead of repair, especially if other components are showing wear. You can see the most affected models on the screen right now, and there's definitely a pattern with certain GE series. The GE profile dishwashers seem to have more door latch and interlock switch issues, while the standard GE models tend to develop heating element problems more frequently. I've worked on tons of the GDT and PDT series units, and they're generally solid machines, but those door components do wear out over time. The older GSD series dishwashers from the early 2000s are notorious for control board failures. So if you've got one of those units displayed here that's been acting up, start with the simpler fixes, but be prepared for potential board replacement. What I've noticed over the years is that dishwashers in homes with hard water tend to develop these power issues more frequently, probably because mineral buildup affects electrical connections. All right, here's your step-by-step action plan for a GE dishwasher with no power. Step 1, check your circuit breaker and reset it. This is free and fixes about 60% of cases. Step 2, test your outlet, especially if it's a GFCI. Step 3, check that door latch for a solid click. Step 4, if you're comfortable with a multimeter, test the door interlock switch. Step 5, inspect the heating element for visible damage. Step 6, consider control board issues if everything else checks out. Remember, start simple and work your way up to avoid unnecessary repairs. Remember, about half of these no power issues are actually electrical problems outside the dishwasher itself, so don't immediately assume you need expensive repairs. If you guys know someone who's having appliance troubles, please send them the link to this video or a link to my channel where I have tons of other videos showing how to fix pretty common issues with appliances. sometimes for free or as little cost as possible. It sure beats having a repairman come out and spending several hundred for them to fix it when it could be something so simple. If this helped you get your dishwasher working again, hit that like button and drop a comment below. Let me know which fix worked for you. Really helps other people with the same problem. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel. We'll get this out to more folks who need to save some time and money. Thanks for watching, and I hope you guys have a great day.